Okay, we are live. Ciao, Federico. Welcome.
Hello.
Everyone. So what is your day today? Is 8. This time I make it right?
Right.
Day 8 for the meditation marathon with the present show and with the mindfulness at IBM community and with Ganapati at the same time, right? And Federico is here for that. So thank you everybody for watching either in the recording or the live now. The purpose here is to do some practice together and experience another step of what we actually did until now. So you should not watch all the recording because today we do something that adds up on what we did before. So what's the meditation today, Federico?
Right. So today we are going to do again the Palace of Joy meditation. But first, I got so many questions. It brought so many questions yesterday that basically I want just to review a couple of them very quickly. And the first one was basically, what was this? Like everyone was like waiting for, was working on the breath and on the body scanning. And they say, how strange is this? It's not that strange, actually. If you look, for example, at something like the MBCR, which is the basic curriculum for mindfulness, created by John Kabat-Zinn, which I sent a couple of mails actually about him.
The mindfulness-based stress reduction course, right? Yeah.
Right. The 8-week program is this kind of the basic grade in mindfulness. You'll find there are a couple of meditations which actually use a lot of visualization and imagination, like rain, for example, or like the mountain meditation. You know, the one where they say, okay, let's go into imagine that we are at a mountain and it's the same principle. This is a little bit more interactive because we are trying to build the kind of skills to do the last meditation on Friday, right? But when you say, imagine that you're on a lake, or imagine that basically you're a mountain, or imagine that you are whatever you want, a dog, a car, but you can, it's basically your imagination, right? You're basically remembering the shape. And this is one of the main things of meditation. Meditation mostly, especially creative meditation for creativity, means to remember something and to see where it takes you from there. And there's a lot of it. There's a lot of meditation, which is actually not so much seeing something, that is the shower meditation as I call it, but rather creating and remembering something and seeing what can you do from there. And this is the bed meditation, as I said. And this is the cornerstone for any creative work, because you're not going to get a lot of creative work done just by sitting there and scanning the body. This is very good. This is crucial, scanning the body and being aware of it, but it's not the whole package. It's not the whole package. There's this other part, because we're also creative people, you know. We're working, and perhaps we have an idea and then we develop it. And I thought of something that was very nice, and the definition was very nice. I read on actually a book about mindfulness, which said that, for example, the engineer, when he has to build a bridge, basically he hallucinates. The term was a little bit strong, but he said he hallucinates a bridge, right? He thinks about the bridge and constructs a bridge in his head, and then he can construct it. But he has first to see it. He has first to imagine it. Okay, these are going to be the pylons. These are going to be the arc. And this is the same thing. We need to build something in our minds before we can do it. So building something within our minds is a very, very powerful skill.
So let's say instead of going into a room, you first imagine the room and then you get into it, right? So that's the way how we build our world.
Well, it's kind of a feedback. It's better to go into a room that you're familiar with. That's why we're going to your home or a place where you're familiar, because you can go there and review it, and then you can go back and create it. That's why we're going to a familiar place, we're remembering it, and then we're going back and put something new. It's like a feedback loop, right?
Yeah.
But you can absolutely create a room from nothing and just do it every day. In fact, for example, the practice on which this is based, which is called the Pure Lands, and actually the practice we're going to do the Friday is very much based on that. It's basically this: you read about something. For example, let's say that we read about a place. like Game of Thrones, right? You read about Westeros, and then you imagine it, and you go back, and you go back, and you go back, and suddenly, for you at least, it becomes a place which is not real, but it's kind of more real or more tangible than just whatever the imaginary place, right? You get to a point where you can kind of envision things there, how it would be. And this is a very creative skill, actually, a very creative skill. When you can do it, when you can master that, you can create worlds, you can describe them, you can, again, this is all in your head. I don't mean anything bizarre or anything mystical, but it's basis of creativity. It's what the writers do. The writers just start imagining worlds and then start describing them, right?
I remember that a similar technique was used for memory as well, to create like the areas where you can memorize things.
Right. And this we're not going to go over it because it's a little bit more technical. But what you can do is memorize list of things. And one of the things that I teach is I go to the different people that I meet, and when we do a intensive workshop, I basically tell them, when you finish this today, in about 4 hours, you're going to remember all the works of Shakespeare in order. So they say, what? It's not possible. It's too long. I say, no, you're going to do it, and I'm going to teach you exactly how to do it and how to remember them in any order that you want. So it's very, very useful, but it's a little bit out of scope for 10 minutes. 10 minutes a day. So shall we go? Shall we do it?
Let's do it.
So, as always, we sit here, we close our eyes, and we take 3 deep breaths. 1, 2, 3. And now, we imagine the door of somewhere that feels very familiar to us. We open the door and we start walking towards the farthest place, that home or office that we picked. When we reach the farthest place, we turn around and we make our way back towards the front door. Now when we reach the front door, we turn back and we slowly make our way to the midpoint between the farthest place and where we are. And then we imagine something that sparks joy. We see its shape, how it sounds, how it smells like. And we remain in a joyful state. Now, we leave it there and we move slowly towards the farthest place from the front door. And when we reach there, we find another thing that sparks joy. We see its shape, sounds, smell, its texture. We feel the joy that it brings us. And now we slowly make our way back towards the midpoint, where we can see the first object or situation. There we find another object which sparked joy. We also see its texture, its smell, how it sounds. And now, slowly, we come back to the front door. We open it and being mindful of the joy that we found, we open our eyes. Hey!
Brings a smile always.
That's great. That's the idea. That's the basic idea. How was it?
Good. I think you, at the same time, you have some memories that are connected since you go to ephemeral. So I don't know if it's something that is part of the practice, but I observe my thoughts, right? Getting into a particular situation where that object, for example, was created, or why I chose that one. Also, that was this side thought that I
Right.
Right, and that sparked also kind of time warp into that moment for just a second, and then coming back to the object. So that was interesting.
That's absolutely great, and we'll have second and third talks sometimes. But it's great as long as you come back to the meditation, that's absolutely great.
Mm-hmm.
And that can be quite insightful, actually.
No,
Well,
because it helps you not only to go into a kind of state of joy and relaxation, but potentially I see also applicability in memory. Like when you want to remember something, that's a way you can do it. Right, get into the place instead of getting into time. Get into the place, and then the place will unlock a lot of time doors where you then can open and see.
That's like, just like this. It's just like you said, Lele, you can go to a place and the place will bring you the time by itself.
Oh,
Excellent,
cool.
excellent. Well, Lele, then we'll see you tomorrow and we'll do one more day of this meditation if you like.
Yeah, see you tomorrow with day 9. Day 8 is done. Thank you for watching and see you. Ciao, Federico.
Thank you, bye-bye.